thanks for joining me. My name is Karalyn and I teach Pilates with the UMSL Rec Center. Got another mat class for you. It's going to be a nice flow class today, so make sure to grab your mat. And I did double up mine today. We're going to be doing a little bit of rolling. So for me, that's a little bit extra pressure on the spine. So if you know you want a little bit more support, go ahead and grab that extra mat, or a blanket or pillow even could work for this one. So once you've got that ready, go ahead and join me in a comfortable seat. I'm going to start kneeling today, and we're going to take a few side bends just to warm up through the side body. So go ahead and take one arm up towards the ear. Exhale overhead, bending over. Come all the way up, we'll switch arms. Bring that opposite arm up. Take that nice breath over, exhale, and switch on the inhale. Just flowing with your breath here. Trying to stay relatively balanced on those hips. So whether your hips are on the floor or if you've got your feet on the floor, try not to shift too much side to side. So we keep this more in the spine and less in the hips. On our next one, let's hang out in that bend. So go ahead and bend over, exhale. From there, we're gonna rotate the chest down towards the mat. Deepen that exhale. And then come back through center, lift all the way up. We'll switch. Inhale there, exhale over. Keep going, rotate that chest down. A little deeper twist through the spine, come up and over. We'll take one more each side, lifting up, inhale, exhale, maybe bend a little bit deeper. Rotate the chest down, back through center, and up. Last one here. Inhale, exhale, rotate, inhale, and come all the way up. Go ahead and shift the hips forward. I'm going to turn to the side, but you can stay facing the front. And this will just help you to see this one a little bit more. So my feet are behind me. I've got my knees under the hips, and you can take the hands to the hips as well. From here, I'm going to pull my belly button in, feel my tailbone reach down towards my legs, and then I'll start to lean back, trying to lean as one unit with the torso, and then bring myself center. We'll take an inhale to lean back, and exhale, center. So trying to keep the gaze forward, don't let that head fall back. And this should be a stretch for those quads and some work for the core here. Starting to warm up. Let's try two more. And last one. Coming all the way up, go ahead and take the hands, place them behind the head. You can interlace the fingers. Press the back of the head into the hands so we feel the back of the neck long. Elbows are wide. We're going to start a bend over to the side. So just like we started here, feel that length across the side body. And then we'll start to rotate that chest down. As we do, let the hips sink back towards the heels. Keep rotating the chest through center. Over to the other side. Once you lift the hips, now we're bent to the opposite side. Come up through center. So this one you can just kind of flow through with the breath. Inhale, start that bend. Exhale as you flow down, rotate around, and come all the way up. I'll turn this way for another view for you. One more to the first side. Over. Let the hips sink back as the chest goes down. Come up and center. Now we'll go over to the opposite side. Exhale. Sink the chest down as the hips go back. Rotate all the way around and up. Two more that direction. Exhale. Sink the hips back, rotate, and up. So feeling a nice stretch for the spine, a little bit of movement for the hips and the knees. And center. Let's go for one more. We'll exhale. Drop down, come up, and center. Go ahead and release those arms. We're going to take them out to a T. Palms will be down. And if you're not facing forward, go ahead and face forward now. We're going to start to lean over to the right. As you do, we're going to reach that hand for the floor. That opposite leg will lift up. Find that balance position and then reach the leg long, touch the toes down. From there, we're gonna take that top hand, thread it underneath, reaching it behind the ribs, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale as you rotate. Inhale up. So feel all of that air leave the lungs, allowing you to find that twist. And up, let's try one more. Exhale. Coming all the way up, stay there with the arm. Now try to let that top leg become light as you lift it up and tap down. 4 more, lift up and down. Stay strong through that bottom arm. Feel the core gently pull in. Last 2 and 1. And then we'll bring that knee in. As you do, start to lift yourself up. Use those abdominals, come back through center. As you're ready, over to the other side. Find the floor, that moment of balance, reach that top leg long. Exhale as you bend, twisting underneath here, reaching that hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen. You can look up at that hand if you'd like. Exhale, rotate. Trying to keep the hips gently pressing forward, so we're not losing that connection through the core as we rotate. Try 2 more. Exhale. Get rid of that air. Deepen the twist. Inhale. And last one here. Come all the way up on the inhale. Pause there. Make that top leg light as you lift it up and tap down. Good. Everything stays the same underneath that bottom waist. We're reaching long through those top fingers. Last 3, 2, and 1. And then as we bend that knee in, start to press yourself up. Find that T and then release the arms down. From here, we're gonna rotate, have a seat on our mat, just facing the short end of the mat here, finding center. We're gonna warm up those abdominals a little bit more. So we'll find that nice tall seat. Really feel our sits bones down into the mat. You can use the hands to bring the shoulders over the hips and feel the collarbones grow wide here. So we have a nice open chest. Reach the arms forward, keep that height through the spine. Exhale as you start to roll yourself down towards the mat. So feel the sit bones start to narrow under the pelvis as the belly pulls in. We're gonna go about halfway back, wherever that is for you. Inhale. And then exhale, curls you forward. And then inhale, brings you tall. Exhale. Start that roll down all the way from the pelvis. Feel that roll underneath of you first, creating some length along the spine. Inhale. Exhale, curls you forward, deepen the abdominals. Inhale, lifts you tall. Try 1 more like that. Exhale. Shoulders are down, fingers are reaching forward. Inhale. Exhale, curls you forward. Inhale, lifts you tall. We're gonna add on here. So make any adjustments you need to with those feet. If they feel a little close, walk them out. Inhale, tall. Exhale, we'll start to roll back. Do about half of what you just did. So 1/4 of the way back and hold. Now pull the abdominals in a little bit deeper. Feel the legs become light here, so try to release any gripping or tension in the front of the hips. Let yourself go down 1 inch more. Keep breathing here. We'll go down another inch. Keep that belly pulling in, fingers reaching forward, and another inch. Add that breath. Keep going inch by inch here. Feeling the belly pull in, feeling the legs become light. It's all about that core here. 1 more inch. And then let's curl it up. Exhale. And inhale, lift tall. We're gonna roll all the way down, nice and slow. Find that roll of the pelvis first. Pull the belly in. Feel the back open as we start to reach that low back for the floor. Coming down slow and with purpose. And then once you're there, inhale those arms overhead. A little stretch there for a moment. Feel the front of the body open. And then we'll circle the arms down to the hips. Go ahead and walk those feet in. From here, we want the feet in line with our hips here. So we've got kind of a nice narrow position with the knees. Feel the collarbones open, palms are down on the mat. We're gonna find a roll up of our spine for our bridge. So inhale to start. On an exhale, feel the belly drop down towards the spine. Feel the pelvis start to curl towards the breastbone. We should now be reaching that low back for the mat. Once you are there, use those feet. So press into the feet to continue that motion of the spine as you roll the hips off the mat, trying to point those knees over the toes. Feel the belly gently pull in, the ribs stay connected. Inhale there, and then exhale, we melt down, softening at the breastbone, rolling that spine down to the mat, trying to get each bone down, and then release onto the tailbone. Inhale there. Exhale, we start that curl all the way from the bottom, from that pelvis. Press the low back down. Now use the feet, really press into the bottom of the feet to lift the hips up. So we get the hamstrings and the glutes engaged. And then inhale at the top, exhale, rolls you down. Trying to stay balanced through the legs, minimizing the wobble. Let's try 2 more at your pace. Using that breath, exhale to bring you up. Inhale to pause at the top, finding that full bridge, feeling strong through the thighs, and then exhale, melting down. We've got 1 more here. Rolling at the pelvis, feeling the low back, reach the mat, and then press into the feet to lift the hips up. Feel the back of the thighs working, the glutes are working here. Inhale and exhale, melt all the way down. And then release into that neutral or kind of curved position with the spine. So resting there for a moment, we're going to take the hands behind the head. You can interlace those fingers and then find that wide position with the elbows. So we feel open across the chest. We're going to inhale down at the bottom. On our exhale, start to curl head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, trying to lift that breastbone up. And then inhale brings you down. So the focus on this one is those mid and upper abdominals. So trying to keep the hips and those legs stable. So not holding any tension there. If we've got any tension at the front of the hips, trying to release it there. And keeping the spine long. So we might have a little space behind that low back, even as we curl up. Try 1 more. Exhale. Curling up. And rest down. We're going to add on for this one. So we'll bring 1 leg to tabletop, knee over the hip. Use that belly to bring the other to meet it. Pausing there. Feel connected through the core. Inhale. Exhale as you curl up. Stay there. Deepen that curl for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the head down. Now from here, swivel those feet to one side. So mine are moving over to the left. We should feel that same hip hike a little closer towards the ribs. Inhale here. Exhale, curl up through center. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the head down. Swivel those legs through center, and then take the feet to the other side. Opposite hip hikes up. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, curl up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Curl all the way down, legs through center, and then thoughtfully set those feet down. Release the hands, take them back to the hips. We're going to work on our bridges again, so walk those feet in a little bit if you need to. This time, instead of rolling up through the pelvis, I want you to feel that tailbone on the mat. Keep that space behind the low back here to start. And I want you to press into the feet first. Lift the hips straight up to the ceiling. 1. And then set the hips down. So lead with that tailbone. Lift up and down. So you might feel this a little quicker in the hamstrings and the glutes. Since we're keeping the spine long. Let's try one more. And then set the hips down. We're going to widen the feet just about mat width. And then we can angle the heels in a little bit. We've got a wider stance, so imagine we're kind of in a wide-legged squat here. Same thing, we're going to lead with the hips, lift straight up, and set the hips down. So we should feel this more in the outer glutes as you lift up, since we've got a different positioning of those feet. Trying to feel balance through those feet, both feet press down as the hips lift up. Let's try 2 more. And last one, lift up. And set the hips down, walk the feet in. We're going to keep the head, neck, and shoulders down for this next set. So let's bring one leg to tabletop. Feel that core pull down towards the spine. Lift the other to meet it. From here, without changing the shape of the leg, I want you to let one leg start to lower towards the mat. Inhale. Exhale, use the abdominals to pull that leg back in. We'll switch sides. Inhale. Let the leg just drift down. Exhale. Pulls it in. So we want to feel the engagement happen in the core more than in the front of the hip. So if you're getting a lot of hip tension on this one, I recommend a smaller movement. So it can be just an inch or 2, and as long as you feel it in the core, that's what I want. So keep the head, neck, and shoulders down. Try to take any tension out of those areas. Let's try one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Hug the knees in if you need a break, otherwise we're going to keep going. Keep those feet together. This time, inhale, lower both legs down. Exhale, lift up. This movement will probably be smaller. Trying to keep the spine the same shape so we don't rock forward or back on the mat. Last 2. And last 1. Woo. And then we'll hug the knees in. Let the back stretch, the abdominals release, and go ahead and rock side to side for a moment, massaging the back of the hips. And then from here, I want to add the obliques a little bit. So hands are going to come back down, legs will come to tabletop, and this time go ahead and press those knees together. So we've got the inner thighs activated a little bit more. We're going to let both knees drop over towards one side of the room, letting that opposite hip lift up. Keep the shoulders down. Exhale. Use those obliques, those side abdominals, to pull the legs back through center. Inhale. Take the legs to the other side. Exhale. Pull them back through center. Do that same thing side to side. Inhale takes you over. Keep the shoulders down. Exhale brings you up. Try to keep those legs together. Try not to let them shift too much one over the other. Exhale. Last one here. And exhale. Then we'll hug the knees in. And then let's set the feet down. From here, we're going to find a roll up. So let's keep the knees bent, but walk the feet out a little bit. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and then take them overhead on an inhale. Use your exhale to curl you up, pulling the belly in, reaching the hands for the feet, bring yourself all the way up. We're gonna grab onto those legs and take the hands just above the ankle, and then we're gonna walk those feet in. Start to hug those legs in towards the body. As you do, start to round the spine. So feel the belly pull in, try to hollow out that shape. And then we're gonna tiptoe back until we balance on our sacrum here. So holding this position, my knees are just slightly wider than my hips. I've got a mini diamond shape position with those legs. We're gonna inhale here, pull the belly in. As you do, start to shift the weight back, rolling back, exhale, woo, to bring you up. And if you don't get there the first time like me, try it again. We're gonna keep going here. So use that breath. Inhale rolls you back. Exhale rolls you up, trying to balance at the top. Inhale. Exhale, trying to stay in that tight shape. Trying to roll through center. So the more you pull the belly in, the rounder the spine, the easier it will be to roll and balance. Let's try 2 more. And last one. Coming up, pause, and then we'll set the feet down. From here, let's take the knees parallel. We're gonna work on our teaser a little bit, so that same activation through the core. So we're gonna keep the hands on the shins, go ahead and walk them in, but this time keep those legs together. We're gonna walk in, find that ball shape again, hold and pause. Now from here, we can either hold this position if this feels like a good challenge, otherwise we can guide those legs up to our tabletop position. So trying to get those calves in line with the floor, holding here, trying not to fall backwards, trying to keep the belly pulled in, maybe releasing the hands forward. Maybe those legs can go long. Woo. Or if you're like me, they're a little bit tight today. Wherever you're at, let's take 1 more breath. And then we'll slowly rock forward. And then go ahead and round forward here, releasing for a moment. And then let's walk the hands in. We're gonna swing those legs out in front. And then let's stay on one side here. So I've got my legs out to the left. We're gonna go through a little side progression series. So I'll give you a couple options for this one. So I want you to shift so that the feet are in line with the back edge of your mat, and your hand can come at a wide angle out to your side. So we can either be on the hand here, if it's a lot for the wrist, come down to a forearm position. So either way, take that arm out to the side. We're gonna press our hips forward and up. So we're in a nice lifted position here. We're gonna reach that top leg long. So we're in our side plank position that we started in. So either holding here with that knee for support, or we can lengthen that bottom leg out, adding a little bit more to that challenge. So find the position you want to hold here, staying strong through that bottom arm, really trying to lift that bottom waist up. Maybe we move that top arm, whatever distracts you here from this position. Trying to keep the neck long as well. Last breath. And then we'll return that arm, bring that bottom leg in, and then let's go ahead and press ourselves up, and we'll switch sides. So finding the center here, we'll start with those hips back, and then we can either start with that forearm down or that hand on the mat. So just centering that hand, lifting the hips up to start, and then we'll reach that top leg long. So this is a great place to start, feeling how this is for the core. This feels like a good challenge, stay here. Otherwise, we can set that top foot firmly planted on the mat, reach that bottom leg long out to meet it, and we're in our full side plank. So holding this position, Trying to lift that bottom waist up even more. Maybe that top arm lifts up. Maybe we add a little bit of movement here. Don't hold the breath. We've got one more. And then we'll bring this all in just like we started. Pressing up and center. From here, let's rotate to the short side of the mat. We're gonna find the center coming onto our hands and knees. So this is our quadruped position. We're gonna do a little leg work from here. So hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and I wanna feel my core engage here. So I don't wanna hang out with my back arched. I wanna press the floor away, feel my chest try to reach between my hands, feel my core, my belly pull up and in, and I'm nice and strong before we even get started. From here, reach one leg long behind you. Toes can start down. We're gonna point through the ankle and then lift that leg up. Tap the toes down. So I'm trying to lift from that high hamstring. So right underneath the glute. And this will really help the glute engage. It'll help keep the leg long. Let's take one more. We're gonna hold it, lift up. From here, I'm gonna rotate the leg so I tap one corner of the mat, lift up through center, and then now I'm gonna go for that opposite corner. So it's gonna cross behind me and lift center. Out, tap, up, and then across, tap, and up. Let's take one more each side. Pressing into the palms, feeling the core engaged. Keep that leg lifted. Now we're gonna flex through the heel. Bend the knee. We've got that hamstring engaged. I'm gonna press that heel up towards the ceiling, and then I'll tuck it underneath of me here, letting the spine round. And then reach up and under, pulling the belly in, trying to get that knee to touch my nose, hugging it in towards the body. One more. And up, lengthen the leg, point the toes, set the toes down, and then slide the knee in. Let's go ahead and sit back on the heels for a moment, give those wrists a little bit of a break. You can roll them out if you need to. And then we'll come right back to that all fours position, fingers spread wide, pressing down into the palms, and then lengthen that opposite leg back, nice and long through the leg. Lift from the high hamstring and lower. So I'm trying to keep everything in my spine the same. So all that I want to move is that leg in the hip. So keeping the belly pulled up towards the spine, reaching my breastbone forward. Last one here. Lift up. Now send that leg towards that outer corner of the mat, tap down. Lift up through center, and then across the body, tap down. Lift up. So you'll feel a little rotation of the leg in the hip. That's what we're going for here. And as you do, trying to keep that spine the same. Last one there. Lift up. Now flex the foot. Bend the knee. Lift a little bit higher, pressing the heel up. And then tuck that knee underneath of you. Create space for it. And then press up. Tuck under. And up. Last two. And one. Hold it there. Lengthen the leg, point the toes, set the toes all the way down, and then slide that knee in. Let's walk the knees about mat width apart, bring the big toes together, and now go ahead and sink back. You can walk the palms forward, and this might give you just a little different stretch for the hips in our child's pose position. Take one more breath. And then let's press up. We're gonna have a seat, so swing those legs all the way around so they're out in front. Finding our seat again, we're gonna do that rolling like a ball position. and we're gonna transition from that to standing. So I'm gonna give this a go because I need the challenge, and I hope you need it too. So we're gonna walk the hands in, take the hands just above the ankles again, and then again, we're gonna hollow out the belly. So let the spine start to curl, look down towards the belly button, walk the feet in till we're balanced on our sacrum. Hold the feet together. We're gonna roll back a couple times. Let's try 2 times. And then on the 3rd try, we're gonna try to roll up to standing. So here we go. Inhale back. Exhale, forward. Inhale. Exhale. On this next one, we're gonna roll up. If you need to cross the legs, take a lunge, whatever you need to get up, we're gonna do it. From here, we'll roll back. Exhale. And up. Woo! Come to standing. If you didn't get it on that first one, try again. I used a cross-legged to get up. Whatever you need, use those hands. Once you're up, let's go ahead and face forward. Reach those arms overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale, let's dive forward at the hips, coming to our forward fold. Hang out here for a moment. Feel the spine round, feel the legs lengthen. And then let's bend through one knee. That opposite leg can lengthen. We'll get a deeper stretch on that side. And then switch, bending through the opposite knee. One more time. We'll bend. And switch. And then let both legs lengthen. And then both knees will bend this time, sinking the glutes down towards the mat. And then press into the feet, reach the glutes high. 2 more times. Bend the knees. And lengthen. And last time here. Bend the knees. And lengthen, reach that tailbone high. Now we'll start our roll up. So feel the pelvis roll over those legs as we start to lift the chest. Lifting the gaze, roll those shoulders back. Let's roll them back 2 more times. Releasing any tension there. And then after that last one, let the shoulders just hang heavy, and you are all finished. Thanks for joining me today. Please check out my other videos if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.